Hello, everybody. I am your host, Joey Scher, and today I am going to do a review. And not just any type of review, a book review. Oh, you all hate reading! Let's get into this. I'm kidding. I'm sure some of you read books. Maybe. Alright, everybody. Today on Joe's book review, I am reviewing Supermarket by Bobby Hall, better known as the rapper Logic. Now, back in 2015, I listened to a lot of rap music. I listened to Chris Webby. I listened to Mac Miller. I was listening to Chance the Rapper. I was everywhere, man. I was listening to so much rap music. Then one day, I was sitting in my friend Ryan Tom's car. Shout out to Ryan Tom. I know you still have not made that 3D printer. I know that. But, I was sitting in his car, and he put this new guy on. And, I have to admit, it was the first time I ever heard Logic. And now that it's really cool because I'm like reviewing a book by this guy. It's awesome. And, so today I want to talk about Supermarket. Now, this is a review. I don't want to spoil too much for you. So, if you've read the book already and want a review, you can keep watching. If not, spoiler alert. Okay? Okay? So, I'm sure some of you have listened to his album, Everybody. And there was a song called Anxiety on that track, on that album. And that was what I compare this book to. That song. This book has inspired me. This book has brought something that his music also brought me. So, you know the song 1-800, you know the song Anxiety. They deal with mental health. They deal with panic attacks. They deal with mental illness. They deal with suicidal thoughts. They deal with things like that. And that's some of the topics within this book. And it's really cool to me because, ignore the hair. Ignore the hair. Yeah, I worked 6 a.m. to 12, so ignore my hair. Just, okay. So, it really delved into mental health. Now, I had the ebook. The ebook was like $10 on like, what was it? It's like Apple's thing. It's, iBooks. There we go. And, I bought a physical copy for $12. There's 11 on Amazon, but, you know, I'm cheap like that sometimes. My mom goes, Joe, that's how I know you're my child, you coupon savvy boy. So, the book really, and his music really delved into mental health and mental health issues. Things that are not really, like, read about or spoken about that much. Not really, like, talked about in like a bigger light. And he put that into like kind of like a limelight, like where I could see that and read that, and actually inspired some other guys I know. Maybe not inspired entirely, but you know Orc the rapper from the Sure Street podcast. He's been on 2 episodes. Everybody, and it's cool. I just talked to him today, and he's working on like stuff like that. I've helped him. And there's just even more talk about mental health since like 2017. I could just tell you, I'm glad there's like a renaissance of people talking about what's in the mind, not just physical things that are happening, but like what's happening in here. And that part of the book really got to me. And the other part of this book that really got to me is the fact that he worked in a supermarket. And this book like keep putting coincidences in my life. I work at a wholesale club. Like that's my in real life job. But to me it's a supermarket. Yeah, I know. Joke made. Um, but they called him a floater. Now, he would go around the store. The main character's name was Flynn. Um, I'm not a floater. I work in like one department. Okay, make that two. I worked in like the bakery today, which also Flynn worked in. He also worked in the bakery. That's how he met Mia, which later became his like girlfriend or like ex-girlfriend or something. But it's like, see, there's like so many coincidences. I'm not sure if Spino read the book or not, but my boy Speen. But just yesterday, he said, "I'm a floater. I'm underappreciated." He goes, "Oh Joe, yeah, you're not where you want to be. You're not here where you want to be. You're underlooked. You're not in the meat department. You're in the you're in the cold cut department." And that hit me too, like a train. And so this book is just like dropping things. It actually even recommended me music, like recommended me Happiness by Rex Orange County. It recommended me songs. It recommended me pop culture. Like I do watch Rick and Morty. I do have like a Marty McFly watch. And oh, there was a soundtrack released to it too. And there was a song that I keep listening to called DeLorean. So that's just some things from the book. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. I don't want to spoil it. For me, it was 365 pages that I read in 3 days. Now, it might seem rushed, but I screenshot pictures of it at the same time. I was looking back on pages like, did you know I was watching like the first season of Friends while reading this book? And they talk about Friends in the book. That's nuts. And now, this is the last thing I'm going to say about the book. Okay? About the supermarket. I had a weird moment today in my life. On this day, April 8th, 2019, about 30 minutes ago, or like less, maybe like an hour ago. So I bought this book in a weird New Jersey magazine. $20 I spent. $1.50 if I saved by being a member at Barnes & Noble's. And I was heading out the door when this guy was holding the door open for me. You know, I said thank you. And then he kept walking with me. It was really, really weird for me. Like, I couldn't, like, put it in my head. Like, why did this guy follow me? I'm like, dude, is he gonna pickpocket me? Dude, is he gonna, like, do this or this to me? I'm like, oh, crap, what's happening? And the guy just looked at me. And he kept talking to me. Of course, you know, I'm not trying to be rude. I don't judge people. I didn't know what was going on in his life. But he just decided to talk to me, like, about life. Like, dude, there would be no wars if we could just connect and understand each other. It's like talking about things you would hear from just like the album Everybody. Like, imagine if you were a person trying to connect with another person, trying to like build like an understanding of each other. That's how like most friendships are built. Like, for instance, I have friends through activities. Like, I've played soccer, I longboard, I do a lot of different things. A lot of things that I won't go into detail anymore. But you get the point. You're building, like, it was really weird for me too, but I couldn't forget it. It was like in my head that that moment happened. And as the guy walked away back to his car, as I was walking to mine, he waved at me and he said, "Safe travels." And I said the same thing to you. Actually, sorry, I messed that up. I said the same thing to that man. It was like one of those moments where you dive deep into your mind and you almost connect with someone. Of course, I might have judged him and thought he was on drugs or something, but I didn't. I didn't judge that man. And hopefully, maybe one day he'll see this video and be like, "Oh yeah, young Cher, I met you. I didn't even know your name." And yeah, I saw you buy that book, and I did open that door for you. It's the little things in life. Like, it's the little things in life that become the bigger things. And now I'm going to split this up, and I want to talk to you about some things I'm working on, and some other things that I'm working on, and some things I hope not to spoil for the rest of this channel. You have to wait for it like a normal person, okay? You have to wait. Now let's get to that. Book review is over. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and check this book out. Check this book out. Do yourself a favor. Shout out to Logic. Shout out to Mac DeMarco. Shout out to Rex Orange County. Shout out to Tame Impala. Shout out to Bobby Hall. Shout out to the people who published this. Shout out to Brian. Shout out to Brian. Brian, the guy who was on that plane in the book. I'm not sure if you're real or not, but shout out to you, bro. And it's time to tell you how this book inspired me. Alright, everybody. So, Sher Street. Now, I know you're like, "Where's the new episodes?" And I'm like, well, I want to make them, but the people I'm trying to get on, one's in Florida or Boston or wherever he plays hockey, and the other one is a baseball coach. And I'm throwing a bunch of stuff. I'm making a bunch of stuff in-house currently. I have to help make my mom. My mom wants to make her own podcast, so I need to help her make one episode of that. I need to focus right now because possibly this fall I'm going away to college for who knows how long. I'm going to be living in a dorm full time. It's going to be whack, man. It's going to be insane. I've never done that before. I think the only thing people in college eat is ramen noodles. Like, that's what I think they eat. That or like macaroni cups, or they eat like pizza at like 12 a.m. I don't actually know, to be honest. I gotta figure that out. But shout out to Lukey Rowe of the Junior Boston Bruins. Looking forward to your podcast. And shout out to Coach Michael. Looking forward to your podcast whenever you are free. In other news, I am working on a project, personal project, one of my own. I don't really want to share too much detail on it, but let's just say it has to deal with me, mental health, and a story. It's going to be a Sher Street podcast, don't get me wrong. But it's going to be different. Like, you know how I always have like a setup for it where it's like an interview and then I get someone to ask me a question right at the end. Well, it's going to be way different than that. It's going to be a bit changed. And Supermarket kind of inspired me to talk about something that I have personally that I've never really wanted to share with people before, because truthfully, it sucks having it. If you would like to support my YouTube channel, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your grandma, share with your mom, share with my dog, share with your dog. Good boy, Lou. And make sure to buy Logic's book if you have not read it. And if you have, share with me your thoughts. Tell me what you think about it. I would love to know, and love to reply back to anybody that wants to reply back. Oh, what else? Make sure to drop a subscribe, please. And tune in for more videos by yours truly, Joey Shearer. Bye, everybody. Peace.